there's been a long-going story with a Radiohead concert.
8 years ago, there was a concert in Canada for Radiohead where the stage collapsed and it killed one of their techs.
Yeah.
Which they've been like going through an ongoing legal battle and whatnot with like the engineers and stuff, or like going back and forth between like the district engineering people
Yeah.
to say, hey,
So,
there is some structural faults, and finally something happened.
so to give some context here, Radiohead was scheduled to do a concert in Donsview Park in Toronto in June of 2012 when part of the stage apparatus collapsed, killing Scott Johnson, who was a tour technician, had been with Radiohead for a very long time up until that point. And Radiohead just kind of since then went on a warpath of like, why was this not handled properly, regulated properly?
Exactly.
And
Who's like there needs to be justice served and whatnot. The people
it wasn't
who are
even
at fault
investigated properly.
No, it wasn't.
And so there were like lawsuits with like Live Nation involved and all these other different things. There was no fault ever admitted at court. I think there were some like damages paid here or there, but there's never really admittance. But this past week on the 16th of November, the Discipline Committee of the Association of Professional Engineers in Ontario, which is the committee you were talking about earlier, they conducted a hearing to investigate Dominic Coglieri, who is the engineer responsible for the design that collapsed. And because Mr. Coglieri is retired and there's like a statute of limitations that is over, and he's basically outside of any sort of need to explain himself or hold himself accountable, he admitted fault and noted his catalog of errors. But as Radiohead noted on an Instagram post, it's 8 years too late.
So he admitted to it 8 years too late that he messed up, that he had negligence and stuff that of a design that led to the collapse, but since he's retired now, he can kind of get away with it per se, which is total bullshit. And 8 years way too late. So, which is really crap for the family too.
Yeah.
Him, so
it's really it's a good thing. We talked about this. Of course, it's a story that's long predated Audioface, but we have talked about it a little bit. The extent to we've done this podcast, and it really goes to show like the actual sort of heart and character that just Radiohead as a band have.
Oh, yeah.
Because when the law wouldn't even kind of go into this, and you're going against like the big like concert venue companies like Live Nation and things like that. Radiohead was just very using their platform in the same way they would advertise an album to talk about this person's life and what they meant to the band, and that there needed to be justice for this case. So much so that like 7 years later, with the same force they are doing to advertise anything they would do, they're talking about it. So like it just goes to show the character of the band, and it's definitely too late, but at least some solace is served in that.